Crisis talks have been taking place to prevent a major international escalation of the civil war in northern Syria after a surge in fighting between Turkish and Syrian forces. 33 Turkish soldiers were killed in an airstrike, and Turkey has responded by targeting hundreds of Syrian government sites. Syrian government troops, which are backed by Russian forces, are conducting a massive offensive in Idlib province. It's the last opposition-held stronghold in the north of the country. Turkey, which supports the anti-government rebels, has sent thousands of troops across its border to assist them. Our international correspondent Orla Guerin has sent this report.
Payback. In Syria today, the Turkish military were hitting hard, striking more than 200 Syrian government targets. Retaliation for yesterday's killing of 33 Turkish troops. At the scene today in Idlib province, resting in the dirt, the uniform of one of Turkey's fallen soldiers. Pictures filmed for the BBC show the impact of the massive airstrikes. Turkey has blamed the Assad regime, but Moscow, Syria's ally, controls the airspace. Turkey's Defence Minister Hulusi Akar says Russia has no excuse.
Even though we told Russia in advance the location of our troops, the attack happened. After the first strike, we warned them again, but it continued. Even ambulances were hit.
Here, the two leaders at the centre of this dangerous escalation, President Putin and President Erdogan, who leads a NATO nation. So far, NATO isn't rushing to Turkey's aid, just calling for Russia and Syria to end their assault on Idlib.
I call on them to stop their offensive, to respect international law, and to back UN efforts for a peaceful solution.
And this is what Western leaders may be most worried about. Refugees heading from Turkey to Europe. Already today, a trickle. Since word went out here, the authorities would no longer try to stop them. They are Turkey's leverage with the international community. In Istanbul today, a clamour to board a bus for the border. In the past, refugees would have been refused. Not today. Hassan from Syria is hoping to get his family to Belgium. It's too late for us, he said. We are leaving now for the sake of our children. Turkey hopes they and others like them can be its passport to international help with Idlib. Orla Guerin, BBC News, Istanbul.
Well, we can speak now to our correspondent Jonah Fisher, who's near the border between Greece and Turkey. And Jonah, just this evening, you've seen people come over that border into Greece.
Yeah, that's right. Greece responded immediately to the movement of people inside Turkey by closing the border, the land border between the two countries. I'm standing at one of the closed border crossings now, but it doesn't appear to be entirely watertight, certainly. As we arrived in the area this evening, on a number of occasions on the roads near this border area, we came across groups of Afghan refugees who we spoke to. They said that they had crossed the border today, not obviously at the official crossing points, but at illegal land crossing points. It's a reminder, really, that if Turkey really does want to move on the nearly 4 million people it hosts on its soil, that it's going to be extremely difficult for Greece and for the European Union to stop them. As I speak to you this evening, there are several hundred refugees, people who were encouraged into no man's land in that area behind me, a couple of 100 meters away. They are spending a miserable night in no man's land, encouraged in there by the Turkish authorities, but being blocked from getting out on this side by the Greeks. So this crisis may be entering a very, very difficult new phase.
Jonah, many thanks. Jonah Fisher.